This is Reed Seals for AM 1340 WGRV. I'm here with 3rd District Commissioner candidate on the Republican ticket, Clifford Bryant. And Clifford, go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, Reed, I'm a local chiropractor. I've been in practice here for 30 years. Married Deborah McNew. Many know her father, Joe McNew, the late Joe McNew. And in addition to being a chiropractor for 30 years, I also own TAC2, which is a Tactical Advantage Concepts 2000. It's a shooting range and a tactical firearms training center, as well as we're a Class 2 manufacturer and build machine guns and suppressors and that sort of thing.
Okay. And tell me why you decided to run for commissioner.
Well, I decided to run for commissioner because we have runaway spending in this county. Our property taxes have continued to increase over and over and over. In the past, we've had numerous people move into this county because property taxes in other states and other counties were too exorbitant. They couldn't afford it. And that's a good thing for us. The problem is at the current rate, if we don't do something now, our property taxes and the size of our local government is going to be doubled in 10 years. And those people that have been moving in here will be moving to Cocke County and other surrounding counties or other states. So I feel like we need to step up and put a stop to it now while we still have somewhat of a chance. We have half of our commissioners run as Republicans and claim to be conservative, yet the vast majority of them are as liberal as Nancy Pelosi. And we've got to stop that. Simple as that.
And what's your view on school consolidation?
School consolidation, I can tell you pretty carte blanche, I am opposed to it. All the research I've looked at, and there's a lot of research here in Tennessee as well as all across the nation, school consolidation is never a good thing. Small schools excel academically. They excel in the community because you have community involvement. The only problem, one of the only benefits to having school consolidation, and it is my belief that this is a big impetus behind the drive with some of the county school board members, is because of sports. They want to be competitive with some of the bigger schools. Now, Greenville City School being one of them. However, this would not even be in the conference with Greenville City School. It would be Dobbins, Benton, etc. They would be a mega school, basically, based on state records. They're on at 2,200 enrollment. There are only 6 or 7 schools in the state of that size. So it would create a nightmare as far as logistics of travel and that sort of thing. Right now you have a number of students that can participate. For instance, basketball. Let's say you have a basketball team that dresses out 10 students. Well, now you've got 40 students playing in this county. If you consolidate, now you've got 10. And the same thing's going to apply to every sport, to the band, to chorus, to debate team, you name it. And so then you're going to alienate a lot of students that are not going to be able to participate. The other problem is the cost of this thing. You know, the number's been thrown out there at $90 million. Well, that's a pipe dream. That's ridiculous. That number legitimately is going to be closer to $150 million. And that number does not include the cost of the land to build the thing. It does not include architectural design costs. It does not include site development, such as grading and all that sort of thing. And we're going to move a CTE program, which is the VOTEC, into that high school. So the local VOTEC is probably going to have to close because the city cannot support it by itself. And there's no budget allowed in this for all the equipment that's going to have to be purchased to create that in this high school. You're looking at $1 to $2 million easy, plus the additional teachers that are going to be needed in there. That's not accounted for. So in reality, we're looking at a $200 to $250 million project. Most of us can't comprehend what sort of tax increase that would take to do. And our property taxes have gone up and up and up by the incumbents that have been in for a number of years that have voted for tax increase after tax increase after tax increase. So for a lot of reasons, everything from academic, I believe the local school board, the county school board, does not have their priorities right. They need to focus them on academics. And you can do that with small schools a lot better than you can with a large school. For instance, offering different classes. It's real simple. You do what they refer to as distance learning. Greenville High School and every college we know does that. We have a proficient teacher in one spot teaching a class, and that's projected through the internet to another class And so that's a lame excuse to say that we can't offer these things, because they can be. Technology's there. So those are my basic reasoning behind it. We just simply cannot afford it. All the research pretty much shows that it's a bad idea.
And what are your plans if you get elected, if any?
Well, my plans are, number one is to cut wasteful spending. I'll make a promise right here now. I will never, ever vote to raise property taxes under any circumstances. Currently, you don't own your property. You quit paying your property taxes and see what happens. You're renting. That's not what our founding fathers meant for this country. I don't know that in my lifetime we'll ever see property taxes repealed, but we can certainly stop them and possibly reduce them. There are better ways, more equitable ways to raise revenue with sales taxes and that sort of thing. But we got to cut the wasteful spending, and we got to quit increasing the property taxes. For instance, the property taxes, and I actually have some numbers here for you. The base of our property tax has increased, but nobody wants to talk about that. Someone asked Mayor Crum recently about how much is our property tax base increased, and his response to him was he didn't know. Well, I'm sorry, but the mayor should know that. And 8 years ago, our tax base that's actually billed to the property owners was just over $5 million, well, $5.5 million. Currently, that was 19 million. It's increased from that point till now by over 5 million. Currently, we have a $25 million tax base. So our taxes, we've got more money to do stuff with, but where's it going? It's going to wasteful spending. And there's a lot of fluff in there. We need to get a centralized budget, which our state auditors have recommended time and time again when they've audited us. But the commission, for whatever reason, has not felt the need to do what needs to be done. That'd be one thing I would try to insist on, is that we consolidate, because there's a lot of finagling in the smaller budgets, like the school budget and the road budget, etc., where there are things that are shuffled around so that people don't realize what's really going on. And so we've got to eliminate those sort of things. So really it's simple. Cut the spending, cut the spending, cut the spending, and then don't raise property taxes. It's a simple formula.
And is there anything else you'd like to say before we go?
Well, another thing is revenue. You know, we were promised several years ago we have this big increase on our wheel tax. And then we're not going to have property tax increase. Well, we all know that was a lie, because right after that, the property tax increase. Well, some figures on the wheel tax. Prior to the increase of the wheel tax, we had $1,378,000 come in from wheel taxes. Okay, that was prior to. That was when the wheel tax was $20. Now we have $2,495,000 more. So our base now of the wheel tax is $3,874,000. So when you add that together with the increase of the property tax base, we're looking at almost $6 million more per year now than before the wheel tax that's coming in. So how are we wasting that money? Where is that money going? You know, we don't need to raise property taxes. We need to cut spending.
That was Clifford Doc Bryant. He's running for 3rd District Commissioner in the Republican ticket. This is Reed Seals for AM 1340 WGRV.